Good evening, Brian. So, as you can see on the screen, I have the main program pulled up, your Nest Rev0 program, and we'll go through this. It's kind of broke up into four sections. You got the top part here with your inputs. This part right here, this 1000 area, that's for the program looping to run in automatic mode. And then you got the wheel dress portion and then the grind portion. And as you can see, these are pretty easy just to copy and paste into something new. You just grab the top chunk out of each one of these and paste it into your new program. Up here, you just grab all this from right here all the way to the top and just copy and paste that into your new program. So let's take a little closer look at what we got here. In this section here, I'm reusing what you had already, these first five, and then I added in these bottom three. So here you would put in the work offset that you're going to use for whatever particular part you are running. As you can see, I got G54 in there right now. This is used by the update macro, which offset to update is whatever number is going to be here. You were wanting to know if I could add it so you could use more than one in a program. I can, but we'd have to create, pound 7, pound 8, pound 9, pound 10, and then this. So it is possible if you really want that done. I don't really see you doing that on your particular application, but if you want it there, I can put it there. This next section is how many total parts do you want to run continuously for a cycle. I know you're using a robot. The robot's got to know where the parts are, so you must have a tray or some kind of container or something that will hold X amount of parts so the robot knows where they're at. So you could put that in here if you wanted to run continuously for 45 parts is what I got here. And then your minimum grinding wheel diameter, I think you told me 6, so I got 6 in there right now. So if the grinding wheel gets lower than 6 inches, it will alarm out the machine. In this first set of checks here, this M100, what we're doing in here is we're looking for any fat-fingered numbers. I'm moving some numbers around in the programs. I'm checking to see if there's an extra wheel dress cycle that wasn't completed. When this starts back up, it'll throw an alarm. We're just doing a lot of checks to make sure everything's right. This M98 P1000, that begins the loop. So you can see it's got pound 8 there. So it's going to run this many cycles through there. Down here, you can see we're calling P2000, which is the wheel dress program. So the reason there's a pound 101 there, I don't know which variables you're using for other things or whatever, so I just went up to a 100, and I'm using a couple in the 100 range. This will dictate how many loops this does on the wheel dress portion of the program. So if you wanted to do 3 extra wheel dresses and you put 3 in the spot that I'll show you here in a little bit, it will loop this wheel dress 3 times. And then you can see we got this P3000 here with the L2. So that 2 is what you had up here at the top for number of parts to run between wheel dresses. And then we run the grind portion of the program. In this 101 here, we are using, or I'm updating the work offset based on the value you put in the top up there and the G55. Nothing can mess with the G55 when it's set except for this here. It'll take off that 5/10 or whatever you have specified in the pound 1 up top. So we get them down here to 2, this M102. There's a bunch of counters going on for how many parts are ran, how many are on the wheel dress cycle and stuff like that. And I'll show you all this stuff in a minute when we get to the software. So pretty much the rest of the program is all what you guys had there. These robot commands, that'll be on you to put those in wherever they're needed to be. It's not going to do anything to my program. The only issue you might run into is up here in this wheel dress program, because it's going to trigger these M24s and M25s if you specify an extra wheel dress. So you might want to fashion those only in the grind portion of the program. You said you usually leave a part in there for when you're doing a wheel dress anyway, so I don't see how that would affect anything. But if it does, let me know, and I'm sure I can come up with a workaround for it. We can do that right here in this M101 macro. So that's it for the program. I will call up the software program now. Good afternoon again, Brian. We'll go ahead and look at the software now. Let's get that started. And UC400. Yours should be like mine. When it first starts, you got to hit reset. The other thing is this M1 pause. If you don't want it on, you're going to have to turn it off. So just click it. We'll load the program. And that's Rev0. We can see the program's loaded over here. I'm going to turn the feed rate up to 300 so it'll run through the program faster. We're going to turn the M1 pause on. We're going to hit cycle start. And you can see we're paused at this M1 right here. And it even tells us that in the status message right here. So while we're here, right here, the P1000 is how many total loops the program is going to make. So that's taking the value in pound 8, which we had at 45 parts, and dividing it by parts per grind, and it's coming up with a value for how many loops, which should equal 15. We can check this by querying the number, so we can go question mark pound 102 and enter, and we can see that it returned a value of 15. We can do the same thing with the wheel dress program here with pound 101. We can query it with a question mark and push enter, and we can see only one wheel dress cycle is selected right now. So we'll push cycle start, and you can see we've jumped to the wheel dress portion, and we're on this M1 pause, and it tells us that right there. Clear this, cycle start. It did one wheel dress, and then it went to the part grind portion of the program. So in the offsets for G54 and G55, I had them set to 0 when this first opened up, and you can see it's accounted for the wheel dress. It's taken off 5/10. G54, G55 is taken off another 5/10 for that. So we'll come over here, we'll run the parts. So this would be part number 1. This will be part number 2. And this will be part number 3. And you can see here in the status message, I don't have M24 and M25 files, so yeah, I couldn't read them, which doesn't matter for what we're doing. It ran the 3 parts. Now it's going to go back to the wheel dress portion of the program. Here, if we want to, we can specify an extra wheel dress. We can also pause the grind portion of the program and specify an extra wheel dress there. We just can't do it in the wheel dress program itself because it's got to be able to put the value here for the loop. So we can go extra wheel dress. It's going to pop open this box. How many extra wheel dress cycles to perform, and we put our answer in there. This has a 5-part limit right now. If you want more or less to be able to enter in here, I can change it, and you'll be able to change it too. It's a very simple place to change it, and it'll be in the documentation. But I'm going to show you if we put in 6 and we click the OK, it's going to pop up with this message. Too many dress cycles specified. Re-enter a number less than 5. So we're going to go ahead and click OK, and we're going to type in 3. We'll push OK, and we'll hit cycle start. And you can see here in the status message that 3 extra wheel dress cycles have been selected. So we'll hit cycle start for the wheel dress. So this is number 1. We're back in the wheel dress top of the program. This will be dress number 2. And this will be dress number 3. Now we just did 3 wheel dresses times 5/10. In our work offsets, we should be at -2. And you can see we're at -2 here in G55, and we're at -2 in G54. So we're in a part grind portion again. We'll hit cycle start. So that's part number 1. This will be part number 2. And this will be part number 3. And then we go back to the wheel dress program. And since we haven't specified an extra wheel dress, should only be 1. And you can see we went to the part grind portion. We ran 1 wheel dress cycle. So if we push cycle start again, and we're back at the pause. This will be part number 2. So we know we've ran 7 parts so far, I do believe. I'm now going to show you a screen that you haven't seen yet. The tools tab up here. If we click on this, you'll see I have taken over the corner of the screen over here and added 4 fields. So we have current wheel diameter here. We have wheel offset, parts to go before wheel dress, and current parts per cycle. So like I said, we ran 7 parts so far. This will be a visual counter for the operators to know, okay, I'm getting close to the end of the program, or whatever you want to use the information for. Parts to go before wheel dress. So we know we've ran 1, so we got 2 more to go. Right now we are currently paused at the grind portion. So if we wanted to, we could do a wheel offset, and we know we're at -2.5 here in our G54 work offset. So if we go back to the tools page and we do a -0.002, whenever they change the value here, you'll want to save the tool table. The program will also do it, but it's best if they hit the save tool tab. So we'll go ahead, we'll hit cycle start. And we know we just ran one part. And you'll notice that it took the 2 thou off of the work offset here, but it did not change the G55 work offset. I didn't think you'd want that on the G55, but let me know if you do. So let's go back over to the Tools tab. You can see we have a current wheel diameter field. So every time it does a wheel dress, it's going to minus the amount that we specified for a wheel dress. In this case, it's 5/10. And you can see where we're at for parts here. So we are going to change this value to 6.5. And we're going to run this program again. And you can see now we're at the wheel dress portion of the program. So you can see we had 0 parts to go, and we've ran 9. And 9 is a multiple of 3. So we're doing 3 parts per dress cycle. So now we know we're at 6.5, and we know we're going to do the wheel dress portion. So we'll hit cycle start. We're at the pause again for the wheel dress. So if we go over here to Tools, push cycle start, it just deducted that 5/10 from the diameter. So you told me that the max value, or that your new wheels were 7 inches. I don't know what kind of tolerance your grinding wheels have when they're new, but we can specify a value here. So when you change out the new grinding wheel, you'll want to enter that value here. And currently I have it set so you can go to 7.2. We can tighten that up if you want to. It will not let you put in a value more than 7.2. And then we can go 6-inch was your minimum wheel size that you stated. So if we go 6.0005, we'll hit Save Tool Table. And we are currently getting ready to run parts. So I believe that's part number 1. This is part number 2. And this will be part number 3. And then it should go up to do the wheel dress. And we're at the wheel dress, so we push cycle start. That should have put us at 6 inches. It put us at 6 inches, the minimum number. And then we'll turn off the M1 pause. We'll hit cycle start. So there's part number 1. There's part number 2. Part number 3. We should go to the wheel dress now. And when it went to the wheel dress, it noticed that it was going to be under 6 inches. So it threw this message: grinding wheel too small, change grinding wheels. Change the value and current wheel diameter on the tool tabs page. Click OK. You can see that it's rewound the program back to the top, and it's set off the reset button. That's to alert the operator that something stopped over here. I believe we've covered everything almost. So we'll put this value back at 6.5, and we'll change our current parts per cycle to 43, and we're going to hit run. And we're grinding part now, and should grind another part, and then we're at our max number. So as soon as it tries to grind another part, total number of parts complete. So the cycle has stopped. We'll click OK. You can see we've activated the reset button, and we're back to the top of the program. So now they can reset up their parts or whatever for the robot. So that's pretty much what I got. One of the issues that I could see possibly is with the robot. The M24 and the M25 in the wheel dress portion of the program. Because if you specify extra dress, it's going to read that M24 3 times or 4 times or whatever you specify for a value. These should be down here in the grind portion, but we could actually add a if statement into one of these for the M24 or M25. A simple if statement that won't cause that to fire if we're doing extra wheel dresses. So let me know about that. We'll come back over to tools. One of the things that you do not see is I have an extra field here and here that are hidden, and one more over here. They're just storing information for these counters in the wheel offset. So let me know what you think. If this is something you want to continue ahead with, let me know. If you like what you see and you want me to do this, I do need one thing from you. I need a file. So if you go to your file explorer on the computer, and we go to C drive, and we'll go to UCCNC. Under the screens folder, there is a default screenset.ssf file. I will need this file in order to make the screens look the way I have them set up. I'll have to make some changes here, and then I'll send you back the original plus the changed one. There will be a couple pictures to add to the picture folder, and if we go back one, I believe it is under, let's see, flash screen, the BMP file, and default screen set, and I'll have some pictures for you to put in here, which is easy to do. So let me know what you think. Want me to continue on? I will. Thanks. So I'm back. After watching the video, I noticed I forgot to show you one thing, so I want to show you that now. If we go over to the Tools tab and we go to the wheel offset, and if we make a big move greater than 9 thou, it's going to throw a message at us. So that was at -3. Yeah, it's at -3 thou. We're going to make that read -0.013 for 13 thou, so that's a 10 thou move. So when we hit cycle start, and it's on the grind portion now, or on the dress portion, I'm going to add that into the address portion, but when it gets to the part grind spot, um, it's going to throw this message. It says the wheel offset larger than 9,000 been detected. Please correct the offset. Original value was at minus 3,000. So if we push OK, and we go back over to here, you'll see that it reset it back to the original value. So if we type in 0.0004, push cycle start, then it'll take off and keep running. Just wanted to show you that real quick. Thank you. Bye.